for another movie episode. We may look the same, but MC this time is going to talk to us about a movie he watched. I haven't seen this movie. I haven't really had the urge to see this movie. It is a movie about true events according to the people who involved in it. And it was Cocaine Bear, which came out in the theaters, about 4 months ago, 3 months ago?
2 weeks ago, and it's already on Peacock.
2 weeks. Is it on Peacock? Can you watch it for free?
Yeah, you can watch it if you have Peacock or whatever from your provider. What I think Xfinity people can get Peacock for free. So yeah, I think it's just really. It must have been just this past as we recorded, probably just this past weekend. But
so, have you seen Creed 3?
I've still not seen Creed 3.
You chose Cocaine Bear. Tell me why.
I didn't choose Cocaine Bear over Creed 3 because Creed 3 isn't streaming for free anywhere right now. So that's the reason why.
So you only watch movies for free.
No, I didn't. I watched Evil Dead Rise in the theaters as well. You went to
the theaters to watch a movie?
I did, yeah. So I'm currently more up to date than you now, since I think you said Creed 3 was was it Creed 3 that you've seen, or John Wick that you said you've seen?
No. I think the last movie I went to see was Top Gun.
Oh, Top Gun, that's right. I couldn't remember it. Okay, yeah.
I haven't been to the movie theaters for like a year, I don't think.
Well, now I have you beat. I've seen Evil Dead Rise.
Well, now you've seen, inspired by true events, Cocaine Bear.
I wish I did not, but yes, I've seen it as we recorded this. I've seen it yesterday. So it's very fresh in my mind.
Cocaine Bear. Let's just get to the actual
Cocaine. It's a pretty bad film. I'll just
there he is.
I don't think that's the same bear, but Joker has joined us.
What? He was just
if he was a bear.
This looks like Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo. Look at that bear.
That's a pretty frightening visual to come see at you.
I don't understand why his face. I'm trying to get why his teeth. Why do his teeth look like that?
I don't know, because he's been given Joker venom apparently, and his face is turning white.
No, but his teeth even look just weird. Like
it does look like he's wearing like some sort of false teeth or something to make him look scarier.
I think it's edited. I don't think that's the truth.
I'm pretty sure I would.
Man,
I would say that's not Cocaine Bear, by the way. It's just some bear in the snow, I think, right?
No, I just took a picture.
That wasn't in the film. That's not Cocaine Bear.
No, I was hanging out.
I just seen it. I was hanging out. Cocaine Bear.
I was hanging out at the movie premiere, and I ran into Cocaine Bear, and I was like, Cocaine Bear, and he got a picture of him.
Well, let's talk about that. The real Cocaine Bear died immediately after ingesting whatever 4 kilos of cocaine or something. So it's not a really
that would have been
accurate.
That would have been a terrible
depiction of events. Well, basically, it's apparently the guy who. I don't know. You want me to spoil this movie for you completely? Are you ever going to watch this?
I am never going to go see Cocaine.
I do not blame you. But apparently at the beginning of the film, this is directed by Elizabeth Banks, and I don't know if I would, for one, looks like he's got a nutsack on his face. A white
got cocaine right there.
Powdery nutsack on his face. So apparently Elizabeth Banks directed this, and
white powdery nutsack. All right,
yeah, that's what that looks like to me. And she just spends the the beginning. They show apparently this is in real life. This guy fell from the sky into a driveway in Knoxville, Tennessee. So essentially, he splattered on somebody's driveway who was a 80-some-year-old man way back in the 80s. And they found his body, and he was like. Because I was watching a little of the real life documentary, which seemed more interesting than this. But apparently they found him, and he was like a James Bond, like assassin. He had all this shit on him, like watch, and it was really weird. So apparently they followed the story, like the guy, he's dancing to the stupid music that Elizabeth Banks is playing for this film, throwing cocaine out into the wilderness from this plane, and apparently he's going to get it all later or whatever, somehow with a tracker or what the hell he's doing. But well, apparently he slips coming out of the plane, hits his head, and then we're led to believe he falls to his death, and the cocaine is scattered.
This is the true story or the movie?
They said he slipped. I don't know if his parachute just didn't go off or whatnot. I mean, that's how he died. But apparently he falls into a driveway for real in Knoxville, Tennessee. In this film, I think they do show something about it, like they talk about it, because one of the characters is a African American sheriff in Knoxville, and then they got these hillbilly guys who are stabbing people in the park. They got this park ranger who likes this other Joe Dirt looking guy that's coming into her office. I feel real bad for Carrie Russell because apparently Elizabeth Banks was able to convince her. I think it was, she played Felicity or something in that old WB show, I think. Well, apparently she was in this film, and she's playing a mom as her daughter and this other boy in the neighborhood ditch school to go painting or whatnot. This is a real stupid film for about 50 minutes. I mean, really, it's just establishing characters that are just the biggest, if they're not like redneck, they're white trash and other weird stereotypical, because it's supposed to take place in the 80s or whatever, not supposed to be, whenever the hell this shit's going on. It's a real dingy, the costumes are all from that era. It's just a real unsavory movie, maybe is the best way to describe it.
That's 1985.
Yeah. So by the time it gets to like the 50-minute mark, I mean, the bear has killed some people at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're so quick, the scenes. So most of the time in the first 30, at least the first 30 minutes, there's maybe like 2 bear scenes that, because he's already fucked up on cocaine when you first see him. And then he takes out one of this hiking couple. But it's very quickly, and then it's over. And then now the rest of the movie, first at least there's like 30 minutes are spent introducing these unsavory characters that are just, you don't give a fuck about them. They're just,
well,
you just wish the bear would just maul everybody, because they don't really do a good job establishing like these people are anybody you give a fuck about, which I guess is the point. But it's, I mean, not if you're trying to establish protagonists. But yeah, go ahead.
How did the bear ingest the cocaine? Did he eat it?
So yeah, apparently they don't say, the other one died when he ate it, the real life one. So this bear is apparently a female bear. She's ingested cocaine just because apparently she establishes the hunger of it. And then even if she collapses, dust will bring her back to life. If like the package of cocaine powder comes into her nose while she's apparently knocked out, that'll awaken her too. That happened multiple times in this film. It's just really bad. So there's a tree scene where there's a young boy who's trapped in there. The Carrie Russell's character is by the tree below, and then the other guy who's like the park ranger. That would have been a better film. So the park ranger looks like Joe Dirt. Forget the actor who plays him. He looks semi-familiar, but he's up in the other tree. So apparently he's got some cocaine on him. And then the bear's climbing up the one tree to get the boy, and the boy's trying to climb higher. And then for some reason he sees or smells the cocaine from the Joe Dirt looking guy in the other tree. So he goes down the tree, goes up the other tree, and then he just eats him, bites his crotch, and fucking just mauls him while on that other tree. So, I mean, you would think, oh, hey, that's great, because he's already clawed this fat park ranger that's, she just liked the other. That was just so stupid. So when I get back to that, so apparently there's some other drug running thing going on. Like Ray Liotta, I think this is one of his last movies before he passed away. Ray Liotta is like a drug runner, and he's sending his.
Can you imagine that's his
other guy
movie?
I know, right? Could you imagine? For sure, poor guy. So apparently he's involved trying to look it down. So you have these punks who are stabbing people in the park. Now, one of Ray Liotta's thugs had roughed him up or whatnot and fucked him up. So now they're calling for ambulance assistance, and Ray Liotta's thugs are looking for the rest of the cocaine because they found these boys who had it. So apparently 2 of the boys are in the park ranger's office. The park ranger who survived that tree attack, not the guy who got mauled, but she was with him, she's got a gash on her ass. So she's limping in, and she's loading up her gun, and she's about to, I don't know how the fuck this bear is like superpowers now with the cocaine, but apparently the bear is now at the door. So you think it's going to be somebody else, but it really is the bear. Well, she has one of those 2 thugs who are in their office open the door. The bear is actually there. For some goofy reason, she shoots the guy in the head instead of the bear. So he's dead now. And the other guy's not even freaking out as much as he would. He just killed one of his friends, and the bear is now, takes off. But then it goes somehow after it takes off. Now it's on the roof. But this does get into one of the better scenes. So apparently, the ambulance that these two kids called for their concussion, so to speak, from one of Ray Liotta's thugs over there. So the ambulance shows up, and it's that IKEA guy from the fucking jokes that he was like, doon 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 doon, like, and he's like, he does the retail jokes, and so apparently the IKEA guy got a role from Elizabeth Banks in this film. So I'm laughing because I know he's probably going to die, and that's going to be great to see that. So he's playing one of the paramedics along with this, Asian, girl who's in there too. So they both come in there. She's kind of trying to find out if this ranger is alive, and meanwhile, IKEA guy is trying to open this door, and he's all slow, and it's all drama. Well, he finds the bear, and it's like, obviously it's in a corner in the dark, like it's a menacing murderer. So he shuts the door, and then obviously the park ranger finally is able to get bear out into the thing that the girl is, and then the bear basically busts through the door almost like on John Candy and Great Outdoors, and it's just smashing the IKEA guy, and he's under the door, and he's like, whatever. They get into the ambulance.
Who the hell is the IKEA guy?
He's that dorky looking guy with a beard. You have to look up IKEA joke guy, and he's like a TikTok IKEA. He says he works at IKEA, but he's making jokes of retail, like it's got that little music. Dun, dun. I mean, if you could find it, it'd be funny, but anybody who knows that is, so essentially they're in the ambulance. They're about to take off. IKEA guy can't get away because the bear is trapped, but he somehow is able to distract it with the cocaine or something. And then he's running as the ambulance is driving away. And you got this park ranger who's strapped in there with half an ass or whatever. And I don't know if this was a joke, like the Family Guy with the drive. I mean, but this lady can't drive at all. So she's like a paramedic, and she's, I mean, to her defense, she'd be freaking out, but apparently she's no longer can figure out even how to navigate to get the hell out of there. So IKEA guy's in there. Yeah, that's him. So IKEA guy is in there, and so now he's trying to tell her to shoot. The bear is now chasing them. This is probably the best part of the film. It's hysterical. The bear is like running 50 miles per hour behind him, and it's trying to catch up to this open ambulance door that's got IKEA guy, the fat park ranger in there, and the girl driving. So so apparently the bear jumps like in what is that, $6 million man, like gets in there and fucking is just like mauling them both, and the fucking gurney with the park ranger falls out of there, and her face is just scraped all over the ground. That's pretty sick. And she's just fucking mauling IKEA guy into the fucking it's just funny as shit. Molds that dork. And then fucking the girl, she, like I said, can't drive. She smashes right into the tree, and she actually flies through the fucking windshield. And that was probably the best part of the film. That was pretty fucking gnarly. All three of them. Basically, like, bear was like Jason from Friday the 13th, fucking with 50-mile-per-hour legs.
Well, bears can run fast. That's proven.
Faster than an ambulance with a driver?
In this movie, yes. Well, his name is Scott Siss. And
yeah, that is him. Scott Siss or Siss, whatever.
Stop calling him IKEA guy. He's got a name.
He's IKEA guy because he wished people dead to die during the pandemic. Fuck him.
Oh. So anyways, this is a riveting episode of Why Not to See Cocaine Bear. I'll tell you that right now. So
I mean, if you want me to tell you, if we're just spoiling Cocaine Bear for everybody, I could tell you how it ends.
No, don't ruin it. I think people want to see this, but it did get 69% Rotten Tomatoes. It didn't get a great review on IMDb.
69, is that supposed to be good? 69, like, because
not good. And then
because wouldn't 100 be really good?
Yeah, and then 6 out of 10.
69% of people actually thought this was a good film.
I'll let you know exactly what Rotten Tomatoes said it was. It's basically, if it was,
is that the critics or the fans?
So
this was pretty bad.
67% on the tomato meter is basically is what they gave it. And then I think it has some reviews here. It says the The movie that makes no apology for trying to make you howl in laughter and disgust at the same time. So that was a critic from news.com. Another one from Chicago Reader says, save yourself the price of admission and just watch the trailer if you haven't already. Or better yet, make your own TikTok version. It's funnier and will cost viewers a less time. So I don't think they disagree with you, MC. It sounds like it's a terrible movie. Another guy from the
I would,
says,
in all seriousness, I would skip to the 47, 50-minute mark. Watch when they are in that cabin where IKEA guy right there, Scott Seiss or whatever his name is in there. That is the best part of the film. And then essentially once they're mauled or whatever that whole scene I just described to you played out, there's really no reason to watch the rest of the film.
No reason really to watch Cocaine Bear. That's why we did this episode, so we can try to get you to watch it. Maybe someday we'll just watch it together. I don't know.
Don't you hate comments from Elizabeth Banks? Motherfucker, fuck you. Why don't you try making a film, you motherfucker?
Well, it just when I saw the previews for it, I never thought it looked like a good show anyways. And then right when it happened, people were like trying to convince me that it was a good movie. I just found myself saying, no, it's not. And so now that
very bad.
Now we know, the more we know, the movie's terrible. I didn't realize that you would watch it. I really didn't think that you would watch Cocaine Bear.
I mean, I was curious, probably like anybody else, and I seen it on Peacock. I hadn't seen it on there, so I think it just dropped on either Friday or Saturday. Yeah, good. If I was in a theater, I probably would really be angry having to sit through at least 30 to 40 minutes before it actually gave it a good extended
scene. How long was
scene.
The movie? How long was
it? Maybe an hour and maybe
you get all.
I don't know.
Life's
to be honest with it. No, it's my own fault for sticking with it. But I mean, that was
it's because you got it free. Got it for free.
Yeah, it didn't get any better. I mean, I was texting a friend. He was like, "Oh, he kind of one of our listeners, good dude." He was saying, well, I akin it to like Sharknado or one of those movies." And I said, I picture, and I haven't seen any Shark. I said, I picture Sharknado, the first Sharknado, probably being better than at least this, because I couldn't imagine them making sequels to this and actually people going to see it. Even though they probably could.
Sharknado never got to a movie theater, so somehow, somewhere, somebody convinced somebody to put this out. And I don't know why.
There is a reason why you can watch it for free on Peacock right now.
How soon do you think it'll be before it's on Netflix?
Isn't that almost the same thing? I mean, most people have Peacock, don't they?
I don't have Peacock.
Really? What's your cable provider? Xfinity, I thought, gives it to you for free, but you don't have Xfinity out where you're at?
No, out where I'm at. No, not. I'm in the area where Cocaine Bear actually would be for real. See him in my woods.
Why don't you just find a real bear, throw some cocaine at him, and see how he reacts, and it'll be a better movie than what
I'm making a movie right now called Marijuana Raccoon. So we'll see how that goes.
Powdery dog. Just attacks you. It's really my dog with white powder on her nose.
Flower child puppy.
She goes through my kitchen as a puppy. I want to make it look like she's high.
I could make one actually with my dog when she eats cat food. I'll be cat food dog. And then the dog eats it, and then I record them just shitting diarrhea out their ass for the next hour and a half because they're eating.
What's really amazing is that we were spending a whole episode of me podcast you listen talking about Cocaine Bear.
You're the one that wanted to bring it up. I never.
My other choice was Evil Dead Rise. I was the one I seen. I would definitely much rather talk about that than this.
I like Evil Dead, so I need to watch it first.
So you definitely need to see it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil that for you. I will say this without spoiling anything. It is very much akin to the first rebooted film. So there are some quips, but it's a very serious, insane movie. So if you liked the reboot of Evil Dead, where it was more serious than the original three, that it's not really splat stick like with Bruce Campbell and all. It's a pretty serious horror film. It's just insane gore and violence, and I mean,
So I will share with you what I've been watching. And I got hooked on this about a year ago. And it really bothered me to watch it because it didn't seem like it was something I wanted to see. But it's on Showtime. And it's a series. And when I got to watching it, all I thought to myself was, this seems like a show like that you would see. What was it called? The Lord of the Flies. And it's a show called Yellow Jackets.
I've heard about that.
It's about these girls that play soccer and they go to a high school and they're on a plane trip and they're going to fly. I don't know where they're flying, to a tournament or something. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of girls and they fly over some forest area and the plane crashes and pilot's dead. People are dead, but the girls live and their coach is alive. And then somehow these two dudes that are with them are alive. And they're all teenagers except the coach, and they don't have any food. They're trapped somewhere, and somehow I'm getting to the season 2 of this, that there's some kind of evil spirit in this woods that they live in. But the season 1 was pretty much them living in the woods and trying to survive, and it kind of led you to believe that they were going to turn into like Lord of the Flies and have their own little groups. Season 1 ended with one of the main character girls dying because they're fighting all the time and she dies in the cold. And then there's a season 2. And so you have to pay to watch Showtime, or you can do the subscribe for free for 7 days, which I did the first time. Now I'm sucked into this Yellow Jacket show. And the second one has gotten into cannibalism, where they eat a girl.
Oh, geez.
They eat the girl that died in the first one. She froze, and somehow her friend keeps her around, and they keep her frozen in the like a little wood refrigerator.
How are they all not dead from hypothermia if they crashed in Canada during the winter?
They found
some
a cabin.
Shit like that.
Found a cabin.
Okay.
They're in this cabin, and they're constantly trying to figure out ways.
A cabin that nobody owns or ever goes to in the winter.
Just wide open. And so, but then the show is taking you to the time that they were in it, but then it takes you to their adulthood time where they're going through stuff because they were rescued at some point. It's giving you that indication that they were rescued, but the show doesn't tell you like how many of them actually survived. You're still in this belief that they somehow formed this group where they decided to eat each other, but it doesn't end that way in the season 1. Season 2 now, they decide they kill the bear, bringing up Cocaine Bear. They killed the
cocaine. They killed the cocaine bear.
Killed the bear, and then they were able to keep it because it was cold outside. They were keeping the meat, and they would eat it, and they're all eating the meat, and this is how they're living.
How'd they start a fire?
They took rocks and they had matches or something. I don't know.
Matches in the cabin, or was one of them a smoker? Are you thinking we should?
One of them had marijuana on them.
We should be thankful that somebody smokes in life if you're on a plane.
In the plane, they had stuff like survival stuff and all that. So I think they were able to have things to live. And then the other one that's funny is their coach got his leg like smashed during that time. And so the one girl like just cut his leg off, and then they cauterized it with a fire pit. So the show is kind of weird.
Why is it called Yellow Jackets? Sounds like it should be called.
That's the name of the soccer. That's the name of the soccer team.
Oh, it should be called Eaton or Cannibalism or whatever the fuck.
So this show is kind of leading you to believe that you're going down the road of, if anybody's seen Lord of the Flies, it's kind of, they never ate each other, but they like formed a little
Nobody can find this fucking plane?
No. So this is the thing.
It's not like it's a Bermuda Triangle. You think that spirit is preventing them from being found, right?
What you find out in season 2 is one of the girls who's kind of weird, and she's an adult now, and she's still weird, that she broke the transmitter black box that they use to find planes that are down, because everybody was listening to her like she was a leader, and she wanted that type of recognition. So she broke the box so they could stay there. So that's what they said in this one. So that kind of led to the one. But anyways, go back to the episode. So the one girl dies, and then she's in the little basket outside, staying cold and fresh. And so the girl's talking to her and kind of hanging out with her. And then you realize that they said we got to bury her. This is the part that's really gross. We got to bury her somehow. We got to send her on her way. These girls all decide this. And then there's one girl who all of a sudden becomes like a spiritual leader. She's like, yes, we have to send her on her way. We need to have some closure. So they put her on a fire pit, like a Viking fire, and they're going to burn her body. Right. So while her body's burning, now remember, it's been sitting out there. So it's blue. It's pretty gross, but they're burning her body. Snow, while they're all in the house staying warm, snow falls on the fire pit and it kind of smothers it. So it doesn't just burn it. It kind of makes it a nice little barbecue grill going on action. And it cooks the body to the point where the girls in the house were like, that smells really good. And then they go out and her body's kind of charred. But for somehow the fire burned everything off the body, the clothes, but left the meat of the person. And then they were like, it smells pretty good. Then they all sat around it and they were just staring at each other. And one of the girls just goes, she wants us to. And they all start eating her. And that's when the show got really disturbing. So they're eating this girl and they eat her down to the bones. Like there's just bones now. Like where's the organs? Like they ate the organs, they ate all the intestines, they ate the liver, they ate everything, I guess. So they ate this woman or girl.
Nobody in the cabin thought this was a bad idea.
The coach
I was just going to ask, is the coach on board with this?
Coach was like, this is not okay. He's the adult.
Yeah.
Everybody else just ate her. And I don't know how many months we're into this, but they're out there for a while. But they ate her, and before that they're eating bear. So now they decided to turn to eating person. So now it's become a very mysterious. So now they're adults, and they all have mental issues, and they all have stuff going on. And somehow the show's taken their adult part and bringing them all back together somehow. And then they keep flash forwarding and flash back to when they were kids in the woods. And now I'm in like episode 4 of season 2. The flash forward, flashback shit is getting a little old. Like it's too fast, too much. You're seeing them as adults for like 2 seconds, and then they're kids. It's just too much. But
this sounds like the plot of Survivor. Like, don't they go back to the island even though they've escaped? And that's part of the thing. Like, they're lured back to the island. So that's where this is going. Like, they'll bring the girls all back to the fucking woods.
They're not going back to the woods. Somehow, one of the girls who was the spiritual person has a community area where she helps people with their problems, and somehow they're all coming together. So, anyways, just to go forward,
they're going to end up in the woods. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know what they're going to do.
So that's not a spoiler. That's a prediction.
But well, good. I will stick with that. I don't think they're going to be in the woods. I just think something's going to.
Someone will kidnap them and bring them back to that cabin.
Yeah, but it's an interesting show. I would say if you're into that type of dark, type of mysterious, also Lord of the Flies type of show, the Yellow Jackets would be my suggestion.
Somehow that makes Evil Dead sound like a picnic.
So
but it's not
Evil Dead because I like Evil Dead, and it
is insane. It is overly insane. And did you like the last one where she uses the fillet knife and it got on her tongue? You seen that version, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that.
And what made you watch this in the theaters?
I just loved the first Evil Dead, so for some reason I wanted to watch this one.
And is it a horror movie all the way?
It's insane. It starts off really insane. It's like hits the ground running, and then they kind of go back like to kind of set up. Although the beginning really doesn't have a whole lot to do with what happens, it does tie in, but then they kind of set it up fairly quickly. I mean, the movie is, it follows a sister going back to visit her sister who's taking care of her 3 kids in the high-rise building, and then from there just shit gets batshit crazy.
Oh. Am I looking at you in this?
You are, but for me to know that I'm looking at you, I have to go like that. So yeah, I mean,
so my hand just disappears. It's like watch this magic trick. So, anyways, so we're gonna wrap this up because we're running out of time. So,
Yes.
the TV shows to watch if you're gonna be bored this weekend is going to be not Cocaine Bear, according to MC. Do not watch that movie, for it is stupid. If you're going to watch a TV show series and you get Showtime for free for 7 days, you can probably binge watch Yellow Jackets because it's an interesting show. You do watch it. I do find myself wanting to watch the next episode, even though it's disturbing. But those are my choices if you're going to watch shows. Right now, Netflix, I'm losing it until Cobra Kai comes back because I haven't seen anything.
If you're gonna watch something disturbing, I would watch Evil Dead Rise.
But that's
between
a movie.
Yeah, I know. Between all those choices, I mean, make the trek to the movie theater and watch it.
Not everybody is as brave as you or have the financial,
it's just a $6 some movie. If you
$30,
$30,
maybe where you live, it's only $6.
Taking your dog, you taking your dog to the theater? What the hell are you getting her some popcorn? What the hell are you doing?
Can you take your dog to the movie theaters?
I don't know. If she's a service dog, maybe.
Yeah, she does.
I have mental problems because I watched the show Yellow Jackets, and I don't understand what's wrong with my life now that the girls have eaten each other, and some witch has shut off the transmitter, and the coach has one leg, and what the hell else is going on?
That's a good way of summing it all up. Coach has one leg.
That's what I took away from what you just said. So either watch. I forgot. I just summed up Yellow Jackets.
There's a girl that's pregnant in it too, and for some reason, during the whole time that she's been there, she has this baby, and she's gonna have it while they're there. That's what.
Oh, great! That's great.
That's fantastic. This show is definitely not a show for MC. Do not watch Yellow Jackets. I would
fast forward Cocaine Bear to the 48-minute mark and watch the IKEA guy get mutilated, and that'll probably give you the best entertainment.
That's where we need to finish this with me. Yeah. Listen, is the IKEA guy is the main character, and you need to forward to watch that episode. So subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get other things that we to talk about. And also, if you're ever interested, send us a Me Podcast You Listen message. And then next episode, we will talk about the draft, which is coming up this weekend. So anything else?
As we record this, looking forward to the draft. Yeah, we'll do a post show on that for any of our longtime sports fans. And yeah, like this video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can give you some more great videos and beat the algorithm.
All right. Me Podcast You Listen, subscribe, go to your social media websites, and also check us out on iTunes and Spotify.